Welcome back to Furloughed with Vegan Pete. This is episode 2, and I want to give a big thank you to everyone that joined us for episode 1. I think it really accomplished what I was looking to do. It really hit that spot of social interaction for me, and it made the day really great for me. So I hope it did the same for you as well. I'm Vegan Pete. I'm Furloughed. That's why we're doing this show. Just to give everyone a little bit of social interaction from a safe distance. And in case anyone is joining us for the first time today, welcome. That's the goal of the show, is to have some social interaction that we might be missing while we're stuck at home. We're going to share some laughs, talk about some bullshit going on. Whatever is happening that you're interested in, you're welcome to call in. All you have to do is join our Discord. And I'm going to post that in chat right now. And if something is on your mind that you want to talk about, feel free to call in. If I'm talking about something you want to add to, feel free to call in. Otherwise, put whatever you want to talk about in chat. There's a lot of people here who are itching to talk to you, itching to talk about something. So I'd love for everyone to be a part of the show, whether that's via Twitch chat. Let us know what's on your mind. Like I said, if I'm not talking about something that has struck a chord with you and you have something that you want to talk about, you can call in. All you have to do, join the Discord, hop in the On Deck channel, and then I will bring you live on air, and you can let me know what's on your mind. If you're unable to call in, then you can DM me on Discord or put it in the Furloughed with Vegan Pete section on the Discord, and I'll try to get to it for next episode. I think we're going to hop right into it this week. We don't need as big an intro as I did last week. Got a lot of good stories to talk about. We could go many different directions to start with, but let's go with a little bit of important information first. I know a lot of people are hurting right now, but the good news is you might be getting a little bit of extra money in your pocket soon. Within 3 weeks, the first checks for the stimulus package that was passed should be going out. Those who the IRS already have direct deposit information from will be receiving their stimulus first. And of course, this is for the U.S. listeners right now. I know we got some, we're worldwide, so this is for U.S. at the moment. Unfortunately, the timetable for those that do not have direct deposit is a little murky. Companies like Venmo are looking to play a role. The Treasury Secretary has said there will be a web-based app coming out for those whose information is not on file, and you can register to get your payment details there. In case you missed the story in general, if you made under $75,000 a year as an individual, you qualify for the full $1,200 amount, which is the stimulus. You get $5 less for every $100 over that $75,000 mark, up until $99,000, and then at that point you don't qualify for the stimulus anymore. From everything that I've been reading about this, it's actually the people that are at the most risk and need the most help that are at risk of not receiving this payment. The IRS is really urging you to file your taxes right away if you haven't this year or for 2018. Because that's how they're getting their information. That's how the checks are going to be distributed. So even those of you who don't normally need to file a tax return, you may have to do that in order to receive this stimulus. That includes individuals who earn less than $12,200 in 2019 and couples who earned less than $24,400, as well as some seniors. So and if you haven't filed and you don't have your direct deposit information out there, it's really hard to get some people the information, because about 6% of the U.S. still doesn't have access to the internet, and that's about 19 million people. And most of those are low-income people who really need the help the most and are going to be the hardest to get the payment to. And as Nomad had said, if you have kids, you also get $500 per kid. So there is some help coming out there for you. Hey, Susan Sprinkle, thank you for those 100 solidarity bits. Thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate that. So there is some help coming. I really don't think this is enough help. There has to be another stimulus for the people. We spent a lot of money bailing out corporations. There has to be more for the American people. But you need to get what you can. So share this information with any friends you might have that haven't filed their taxes in a bit. If you know people in the same boat, pass on the information. If you know people that don't have the internet, tell them to come stand in your yard and use your Wi-Fi, because you got to keep social distance. Okay. Miyako says, if you don't have direct deposit or can't give that information, they are mailing out checks, but it will take much longer, is what I heard. Yes, it will take much longer, but if they don't have your information to begin with, you're going to have to go to this web portal that they are going to be putting out soon and get all your information in there. But the fastest way you're going to be able to do it is if you file your taxes for this year and give your direct deposit information. So if you need that money right away, that's going to be the best course of action. And thank you for those 100 bits as well, Talon. Nomad says, other countries are doing a much better job of taking care of those out of work. I'm not that up to date with what other countries are doing, but if anyone wants to link me what other countries are doing so I know and we can talk about that, that'd be great. And Disco Cub, thank you so much for that Twitch Prime subscribing for 6 months. Really appreciate it. And that started at level 1 hype train. Thank you, guys. All right, I think we should start out with a little silver lining. In times of tragedy, people are often able to rise to the occasion to survive. This fighting spirit was embodied by the ladies and the owner of the Lucky Devil Lounge. Faced with a statewide shutdown in Oregon, owner Sean Bolden came up with the idea of Boober Eats. That's right. Customers are now able to order that standard menu from the lounge. If you didn't pick up on this, this is a strip club. But they offer pretty standard pub food, chicken fingers and whatnot, and a dancer in nothing but booty shorts and pasties will deliver the food to your door and do a little shimmy. So you get your food and a little dance. And thank you to Chili Pepper for gifting a sub who has done that 19 times in the channel. And that went to Susan Sprinkle. Thank you so much, Chili. So, how do you order this boober? Well, you got to call the strip club, and you got to pay for whatever food you order, and the delivery charge is going to be $30. So it's going to be $30 or more depending on how far away you are. And with this service, they've actually been able to keep employed 25 of the dancers, keep employed the kitchen staff, bartenders, and security. Thank you so much. More gift subs from Chili. So the kitchen staff is able to stay employed because they're making the food. The bartenders are on the phones. They're taking the orders. The dancers are delivering the food. And the security guards are able to stay employed because they are accompanying each dancer as they make their deliveries, because you got to keep them safe. And although they are surviving, the girls say they've gone from making hundreds a night to making minimum wage, just barely. So COVID-19 is really hitting every industry out there. And I was thinking, how could someone make a video about this? Because you can't really show that much on YouTube or anything like that. But you know how Mr. Beast does crazy stuff all the time. And he lives on the East Coast, and this place is in Oregon. But I've seen him do cross-country videos before, like having a cabbie drive them across the country. It would be really awesome if he ordered Boober Eats from this club in Oregon, delivered all the way to the East Coast, and see how much that charge would be. And Mr. Beast can afford it. So I thought that would be a pretty funny video for you, Mr. Beast. Go ahead and try it. And that story, that little silver lining of the apocalypse, came from our listener, Broly, who posted that in our Discord. So thank you so much for that, Broly. And speaking of boobs, Dolly Parton has made the news. She's looking to give some of you tired parents out there a break by reading some bedtime stories to your kids. And the series is called A Good Night with Dolly. Starting tomorrow, Thursday the 2nd at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 Eastern, Dolly Parton will be streaming on Facebook Live, her reading The Little Engine That Could. She'll be doing this with a new book every Thursday until June 4th. And to find this on Facebook, you're going to want to search for Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. And apparently she already had a program that sent books to impoverished areas, and I had no idea that Dolly Parton was even doing that, so good on her. And this story was courtesy of Mocha Jones. So I want to give you guys the stories that you are excited about. So a couple listener submitted stories starting off the show right off the bat. Thank you to Broly and Mocha Jones for those stories. And let's talk a little bit of the platform that we are on right now, Twitch. I went to TwitchCon last year with my lovely wife, Avi. One of the panels I went to was where streamers were able to ask questions directly to Twitch developers. I'd say the number one issue with streamers was wanting the ability to IP ban, because viewers that were harassing them, and then when they would get banned, they would just recreate or create a new account and repeat their harassing. And to be honest, like, some people at that panel, when they were talking to the devs about this, they sounded and looked like they were on the verge of tears, talking about their experiences of being harassed. And I have no idea if it was that panel that had a direct impact on the devs, but they have made a change. Just last week, Twitch made a change. Instead of a banned user just not being able to participate in chat to harass the streamer or the rest of the audience, the banned person will not be able to see chat at all in the channel they are banned from. And any other accounts they make will also be shadow banned through their IP address. So Twitch making a really good change on this. The banned user also won't they will be removed from the streamer's following list, and they won't be able to refollow, whisper, host, or purchase gift subs in the channel they were banned from. And this is a great change. It should have been this way from the beginning, honestly, because it was way too easy for someone to troll and streamers. A little bit of feedback. Disco Cub says Dolly is a national treasure. I think when Mocha Jones submitted that story, he called her the Queen of Tennessee. And Talon likes the mason jar I'm drinking out of. We pretty much only drink out of mason jars because you can use them for anything. We have lids for all of them, so it also doubles as storage. No need to take up extra space with extra glasses. And we talked a little bit yesterday about Twitch viewership going up in the last few weeks. I had wondered if it was going to be an increase in what Twitch was known for, as in gaming, or if it was going to be for other stuff like cooking streams. Well, we now know at least one category of Twitch that has received a substantial boost in viewership, and that is the music and performing arts category. On March 8th, viewers watched just over 92,000 hours of content in that category. A couple weeks later, on March 22nd, after large states like California and New York issued shelter-in-place orders, the number of hours watched for that category rose to 574,000 hours. It increased over five-fold. Twitch has been also valuable for fitness instructors. They are leading in-home routines via Twitch. So the musicians are getting out there on Twitch. I think people are looking for a little bit of entertainment as well. And I'm sure there's like non-professional artists that are on there as well, but I've seen even more professional musicians get on there trying to entertain people. Disco Cub says several drag queens have been using Twitch for their shows. It's been a great alternative so they can keep working. That is awesome. Yeah, I mean, in a time like this, you have to find a way to survive, and Twitch can be that resource for some people. Maybe some industries that never even considered Twitch to be an option before are finding that there is a place on Twitch for them. So I think that's pretty damn amazing. And it was kind of a slow week in sports this week. I have one small story to go over. John Jones. For those of you that don't know John Jones, he's a mixed martial artist and arguably maybe the best mixed martial artist of all time. But he's also a real idiot. Been caught for doping before, performance enhancing drugs before, has received a DUI in the past, gets in trouble at strip clubs with strippers. And last week, Thursday, he was the same old John Jones receiving another DUI. That would be his second in the state of New Mexico. And that was on Thursday, the 26th. And New Mexico's stay-at-home order went into effect on the 23rd. So not only did he not obey the stay-at-home order, this idiot was out drunk driving while there was a stay-at-home order in effect, caught with an open bottle in his car. And like what always happens with celebrities, a plea deal has been worked out. Because like I said, this was his second DUI, so jail time was definitely on the board for this one, being his second offense. And that's really annoying. I hate when celebrities get better treatment than the normal public when they face legal trouble. So John Jones, acting like John Jones, couldn't just stay inside like the rest of us and had to go out doing a little DUI. And speaking of face palms, people ignored the social distancing rules to watch the USNS Mercy come into port. So for those of you that don't know what the Mercy is, it's the United States naval ship Mercy. It is a naval hospital, a floating hospital, a giant ship. It's painted all white, unlike most of our normal ships that are grayish. This one's all white with the red cross on it. And people were just lined up in the New York harbor watching this boat come in. Not just like lined up 6 feet away from each other. Everyone that was huddled together watching the ship come in, waving American flags. That's not what the doctors and nurses on that ship want to see. They want to see an empty port as they come in. New York is literally at the brink of its healthcare system because of COVID-19. They do not want you huddled together watching a ship coming in. New York PD had to break up the groups under the order of the mayor. And that is just ridiculous. Stay home, people. It's a big ship. You have seen a big ship before. You can go onto YouTube and probably find a tour of the USNS Mercy. You can find everything you want to see on YouTube right now. Take a little break. Stay home. You don't need to watch a big ship. It's just a big ship. It's not that interesting. And the nurses and doctors just want you to stay home. You're not helping. They don't care about you waving your flag or clapping. They just want you to stay home and be safe. All right, let's move on to something a little more fun than that. This one could be considered a sports story or a video game story. We got our first crossover of Furloughed with Vegan Pete. And you'll probably see a crossover or two if you tune into this event. There's going to be a NBA 2K20 tournament on Friday, and competing in it will be 16 NBA athletes headlined by Kevin Durant. The tournament will tip off Friday at 4:30 p.m. Pacific, 7:30 Eastern, with Derek Jones Jr. and Kevin Durant on ESPN. This isn't the Ocho. This isn't ESPN 8. This is the mothership, ESPN. Additional games will be played throughout April, with the finals being held on April 11th. The winner of the tournament will be able to select a charity to receive a $100,000 donation from 2K, the NBA, and the NBPA, which is the National Basketball Players Association. And I think this is a really fun idea. Fans get to see the players that they've been missing. I'm very interested to see what the broadcast will actually look like. and hopefully we'll get to see some ratings for it eventually to see what kind of ratings esports would do on ESPN. And I know they've done some events in the past, but I'm really interested to see how much of the celebrity element of the NBA players will do to the ratings. And the Real Hot Chili Pepper says, fun fact about UK government, the PM Boris Johnson decided to tweet out that they are now using Zoom for meetings. But the issue is he posted a screenshot of the meeting ID code and all the usernames of the people in the meeting. Always great when people that don't know about technology like to tweet out about technology and how they're using it, and then usually end up basically doxing people. And LeVar Burton did that as well, apparently, Nomad says. Smart move. Jonathan Frakes asked fans not to tweet his meeting idea. So people using Zoom for the first time, tweeting it out. Kind of like in this latest election in the primaries. What's the first one? Iowa primaries? Is that the one with the caucus? I think it's Iowa. They had a number to call so they could call in their results for their precinct, and then someone tweeted it, and then all of the Trump supporters flooded the lines so people couldn't record the results, and it took like 3 weeks to get any kind of final results from Iowa. Yeah, kind of like that. When you try to get better technology-wise, and you don't give people enough training, you're going to end up with stories like that. But going back to the NBA 2K tournament, I think this is amazing, and hopefully we see more stuff like this. Because I see videos and Instagram stories of these athletes just bored at home, shooting the basketball, hockey players just doing stick tricks with the puck. We need to get these people out raising money for charity. I think that would be a good thing. And there wasn't much news this week, but we did get a little PSA from one of my favorite TV stars. And I think he's considered a star. I don't know how many people really know Larry David that aren't into Seinfeld or Curb Your Enthusiasm. But we have a little PSA from Larry David for this COVID-19. Let's see what Larry David had to say about this.
Hello, I'm Larry David. Obviously, somebody put me up to this because
is the video not playing?
The kind of thing I do, but I basically want to address the idiots out there, and you know who you are. You're going out. I don't know what you're doing. You're socializing too close. It's not good. You're hurting old people like me. Well, not me. I have nothing to do with you. I'll never see you, but let's say other old people who might be your relatives. Who the hell knows? But the problem is you're passing up a fantastic opportunity, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to stay in the house, sit on the couch, and watch TV. I mean, I don't know how you're passing that up. Well, maybe because you're not that bright. But here it is. Go home, watch TV. That's my advice to you. If you've seen my show, nothing good ever happens going out of the house. You know that. There's just trouble out there. It's not a good place to be. So stay home and don't see anyone, except maybe if there's a plumbing emergency, let the plumber in and then, wipe everything down after he leaves. But that's it. Okay.
So I'm a huge Larry David fan. I thought it was funny that he was even making a PSA like that. And he's right. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity that you can just sit home, have your work computer open if you're still working from home. You can putter around the house, catch up on some TV that you've been slacking on, catch up on some shows that you've missed, watch a little bit of Tiger King or whatever that's called. The fact that Larry David's out there doing it, that should tell you that it's pretty serious. Pretty serious. Because Larry David doesn't like being out there. He doesn't like doing appearances or anything like that. And if you're not staying home by now, like he said, you're being an idiot. Have I seen the Simon Pegg PSA? No, I have not seen that. Your favorite is the Mel Brooks and his son? All right, let's give this a shot. Let's see if we can...
So what's the plan?
All right, see if I can bring this up for you. Doing it on the fly. Come on, cursor, work with me.
So what's the plan?
Right. Call Mum, make sure she's okay. If Philip has been infected, follow the NHS guidelines to the letter.
Don't you want to kill him?
Well, of course I want to kill him. I just can't right now.
Oh.
Don't go to Liz's.
What if I'm horny?
Well, she's my girlfriend.
Alright, Grey.
What do you mean, all right? Yeah, I see what you're doing. I know it's 2020, but the original joke wasn't intended as homophobic. It was more a comment on the absurdity of straight male appropriation of homophobic signifiers in order to denote their aversion to emotional candidness. Do not go to the Winchester. The pub is out.
Even if it's shut?
Especially if it's closed. Remember what happened the last time?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you can, stay at home, have a cup of tea, and wait for all this to blow over. Above all, don't be a twat about things. We're all in this together. Don't be selfish. Look after each other. Give someone a call if you think they might be lonely. Okay? How are you doing?
I'm running out of toilet paper. Have you got any?
Yes. I'm sorry, mate. I'm down to my last sheet. I know. You take care. Okay, buddy. Bye. Bye-bye.
Oh, what a jerk. Poured in that toilet paper. That stop again? Oh, I'm sorry, guys. The video stopped again. Oh, what are you doing to me, Chrome? Alright. Well, we'll work on that for next stream, getting that working. That's one of the reasons I had to redo all my OBS shit today, trying to get that working. Pete can do a junction my shit stream. Yes, that is basically what I've been doing on Final Fantasy VIII when I streamed that. So I thought that was a pretty good one. Calling back to... Oh, shit. Can't even remember the name of the zombie movie they did now. Wait, the whole having a pint at the Winchester thing. Have a cup of tea at home now. That's what you got to do. Shaun of the Dead. There we go. Thank you, Cater Pants. So Simon Pegg getting on the PSA train. Mel Brooks and his son had one, said Mocha Jones. Well, maybe we'll have a whole segment on this next episode. I'll try to find all the PSAs that celebrities have been putting out there, and we can try to rank them. Who had the best one? So maybe you are taking Simon Pegg's advice. Maybe you're taking Larry David's advice and staying home to watch TV. How many of you are still watching traditional TV through a cable box, or maybe you're going old school and you still use the over-the-air antenna for your TV? And how many of you have made the jump to all streaming platforms? So it looks like Mieko says, what's cable? They probably cut the cord. They've made the jump to all streaming platforms. And it seems that more and more are making the jump to all streaming. Nielsen Ratings has released some information on streaming services for the week of March 16th. Ivremus says no cable here either. Nomad says you have to work Monday through Friday, although all your days are a bit easier now. All streaming now. Caterpants all streaming as well. So it looks like most of us here on Twitch, and I would imagine that the number of people on Twitch compared to the general public are probably more cord cutters than the general public. It seems that more and more are making the jump. and Nielsen's released some ratings that said compared to 1 year ago, the amount of minutes spent on streaming content in the US was up 50% from last year. And earlier this year, the week of February 24th, the US streamed 115 billion minutes of content. The week of March 16th was 156 billion minutes. So it would seem to be partially because of the general trend to streaming, as well as the more recent shelter-at-home orders that are causing this increase. A combination of the two. More people moving and more people being home. One observation I had about this story, though, they're talking about the minutes, 156 billion minutes. I think when we start to reach like the billion marker, we can probably go to hours or maybe days streamed instead of minutes. I don't think we need, once we get into the hundreds of billions, we don't need to keep on using minutes. Let's go to hours for that. And in case you're curious, Chili wants seconds. He wants to go to the trillions. In case you're curious, Netflix captured the largest share of those minutes at 29%. YouTube was second at 20%. And then you had Hulu at 10% and Amazon at 9%. The rest of the percentages are just called other, and it includes all the other streaming services like Disney Plus. I guess Twitch would be included in there as well. All of those services combined made up about 31%, and they each individually were all under that 9% mark of Amazon. And so cable's going to have to adjust. They're going to have to get into the streaming service eventually. I think AT&T recently announced a streaming service. And we do hear about it a lot for TV channels and stuff like that. What we don't hear too much about anymore, at least I don't anyways, is like internet radio. Subscribing to internet radio. We all remember Sirius and XM radio. Hadn't heard about them in quite a while, which is why I was surprised that there was a news story for them yesterday. Sirius XM radio is still around, and now you can tune into their content for free until May 15th. And I'll definitely be giving this a shot. I haven't caught an entire Howard Stern episode in a long time, so I'm interested to see what he's up to. KK says his new car came with 3 months free of Sirius XM radio, and now the fuckers won't leave him alone. Hey man, you gotta try to keep that sub. Irene says, damn, if you put all these streaming services together, it kind of sounds like cable. Yeah, it does kind of sound like cable. But you know what? I prefer that model much more than cable. Because pretty much the only thing I wanted to watch on Disney Plus was Mandalorian. And I've watched that now. We are going to keep it because Avi really loves watching all the old Disney movies. I don't get much rewatch value out of those, but she gets great enjoyment out of that. But generally with these subscription services, I subscribe, I watch what I want, and then I unsubscribe until the new seasons of what I wanted to watch come out. So overall, I end up saving quite a bit of money using streaming services. You just have to keep on it a little bit. And thank you for that follow, Booyah320. Really appreciate that. Onward on Disney Plus on Friday. I have not heard of that, but I will look into it, Nomad. Yeah, you got to be on top of the ball with the streaming services, or else you end up. It's like going to the gym, or having a gym membership. You subscribe, you go for a little while, you watch what you want, and then you just kind of forget about it. You're like, I can take the day off. I don't need to go to the gym. You're like, well, I don't watch that, but I'm going to watch something on there eventually. And you just forget you even have that streaming service anymore. And you're just paying $10 to $15 a month for it for nothing. It's just like I'm paying for that gym membership right now when I can't even go to the gym. I need to look up to see if they've suspended my account during this time, or suspended everyone's account during this time, so we don't pay for nothing, because we're not technically not allowed to go to the gym right now. But if you are interested in checking out the Howard Stern show, I think that's about the biggest thing that SiriusXM has going on for them right now. Go check it out. But maybe they have some channels you've never heard of that might strike your fancy. So, we are nearing the end of the show, and I wanted to talk about what I'm calling the Star Citizen segment, where I'm just going to give a star to a citizen out there who's been doing something good. Wanted to end the show on a really good note, and this story involves a newspaper delivery guy in New Jersey. This guy's name is Greg, and he put a note in with the newspapers he was delivering. And the note read, "My name is Greg Daly, and I deliver your newspaper every morning. I understand during these trying times it is difficult for some to get out of their house and get everyday necessities. I would like to offer my services for free of charge to anyone who needs groceries, household products, etc. I will be shopping at ShopRite and McCaffrey's and can deliver the goods directly to your front door." So that note was included for 800 households on his route. And although people were a bit suspicious of this at first, some were in dire needs and gave it a shot. They called Greg, told him what they were in need of, and Greg delivered. He didn't ask for any money up front. He footed the bill at the grocery store and didn't have any delivery fee. He brought them the groceries, wiped them all down with Lysol wipes even, and delivered. Person slid a check underneath the door for him. He left all the groceries outside their door for him, and it has grown from there. Daly said he thought of the idea when he noticed that one of his older customers was afraid to walk down her sidewalk to pick up her morning paper. He's even made it a family affair now. Every morning, his wife and his 3 kids, ages 17 to 24, wake up with him to help with the service. They break up their shopping list, clean all the products, and then go deliver them to their community members that needed help. So I thought that was a really awesome story, and it just shows that there's something everyone can do to help. You don't need to be a doctor or a nurse to be able to help out in times like this. Maybe you can't do deliveries like that. Maybe you are someone in a need or in a high-risk group, and you really shouldn't be going outside at all. You can simply call a friend that you know lives alone, call a family member that knows lives alone, who could be suffering at a time like this, and just give them a talk. And I mean, that's why I'm doing this show, just to make sure that I get a little social interaction, just make sure you guys get a little social interaction. So there's always a little something that I think we all can do. And Miyako says, not all heroes wear capes. Some heroes deliver newspapers. So I thought that was a really awesome story. All right, so that is all of the stories that I had collected to talk about today. I don't see anyone in the on deck circle right now, but if anyone wants to join while I do my little outro, you are more than welcome to. I want to thank everyone for hanging out today. I plan to do this every morning at 10 o'clock Pacific time. So I'm just collecting stories throughout the day that I see. We do have a section on the She Heals I Tank Discord now called Furloughed with Vegan Pete, and you can post any stories you think are interesting or heartwarming or whatever you want to talk about, really. And Nomad says, can you imagine how much worse this would have been 20 years ago when our internet and technology wasn't as good as it is now? I think we can imagine it, because we know about the Spanish flu of 1918. We have newspaper stories from that, and we know how many people died during that. So thank God we've had advances in medical technology, and now we have ways to get out the word a lot quicker. And unfortunately, it seems like a lot of people aren't listening to that. And that's the biggest problem we have right now. It's not the healthcare industry. It's not technology that is the problem. It's people being a problem right now. So, with that being said, thank you so much, everyone. Be safe. try to find some good that you can do in the world. Help someone out, give someone a call. You can make someone's day just by giving them a call. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. looking to do this again. Maybe I'll find some of those PSAs. I think those would be fun to watch. See if we can find some funny ones. I think we can all do for a little laugh, and hopefully this gave you a little bit of social interaction for your day. Don't forget to get outside, skip a little rope, do a little jump rope, walk around your yard. Make sure you get that heart pumping a little bit. But stay safe. Don't go walking out too far. And yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Get that vitamin D. You can't forget about the D. Get some sun. And yeah, I will be back tomorrow. Hope everyone has an amazing day. See you tomorrow.